Before the lights, the fame, and the endless headlines, there was always a story about love, about two souls learning to navigate the noise of the world and still find a way to hold on to each other. And that story, when it comes to Justin and Hailey Bieber, feels like a soft melody that keeps playing through every high and low, reminding everyone that even in the spotlight, real connection still matters. Because the truth is, fame magnifies everything: the joy, the pressure, the moments of doubt. And yet through all of that, Justin and Hailey have built something that feels tender and resilient, like sunlight breaking through clouds. Their journey from friends to partners has unfolded in front of millions. But what makes it remarkable is not the glamour, but the grace with which they continue to grow together, supporting each other's dreams while learning how to stay grounded in a world that rarely pauses. Justin, who began his life as a small-town kid with a big voice, has become one of the most recognizable figures in global pop culture. His music has shaped generations. His words have resonated across borders, and yet behind every performance there is still the same heart that beats for peace, love, and purpose. And Hailey, whose career as a model has taken her from high-fashion runways to business ventures like her skincare brand Rhode, has shown that she is more than just a public figure. She is a woman of strength, of faith, and of quiet determination. Together, they represent the modern celebrity couple, navigating fame with empathy and authenticity. And as the world watches, they remind fans that being real is more powerful than being perfect. And through their shared values of faith, they've built a foundation that feels different from the usual celebrity whirlwind. Justin often talks about finding meaning beyond the stage, using his art to heal himself and others. He's spoken about how love has been his greatest teacher and how Hailey's presence has grounded him, reminding him that vulnerability isn't weakness but strength. And in that lesson, there is something universal, something that connects every star who has ever tried to balance fame and family, because behind the flashbulbs, there is always a search for peace. We see it in other celebrities too, in Beyoncé and Jay-Z, who turn challenges into creative masterpieces, showing the world that forgiveness can be as revolutionary as success, in Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, who share the joys and struggles of parenthood with honesty, breaking the stigma around vulnerability in power couples like Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas, who blend cultures, traditions, and passions, proving that love transcends boundaries. And in all of these stories, there is a thread of humanity, a reminder that celebrities, though elevated by fame, are bound by the same emotions that shape us all: love, loss, joy, and renewal. Justin and Hailey's story fits right into this global mosaic. It's a story of learning to grow up together in front of the world, of choosing faith over fear, and of remembering that connection is the real prize in a culture obsessed with perfection. They've turned imperfection into art. Justin's music reflects that his songs like Ghost and Peaches capture shades of intimacy and longing that feel both personal and universal, while Hailey's quiet confidence and self-care journey resonate with those who see beauty as something that begins within. And as they continue to evolve, they join a lineage of artists and icons who have turned personal evolution into public inspiration. Think of Selena Gomez, whose advocacy for mental health has created waves of change, reminding millions to prioritize their well-being, or Harry Styles, whose open-hearted approach to music and identity has redefined what it means to be a global pop star, or Zendaya, who uses her platform to empower young women and celebrate authenticity on and off screen. All of these figures weave together into a single tapestry, a portrait of fame that feels more human than ever before. And it's fascinating to watch how this new generation of celebrities is shaping culture, not through scandal, but through sincerity, through their art, their compassion, and their willingness to share their truth. And as the story of Justin and Hailey continues, it becomes less about the spotlight and more about the quiet moments that never make the headlines, the late-night talks, the shared prayers, the small acts of kindness that hold them together. And through it all, they remind us that love, like music, is something that grows deeper when shared fame may amplify the noise, but it can never drown out the melody of two hearts, choosing each other again and again. And that is what makes their journey so special. Because even in a world that often celebrates chaos, they choose peace. And that choice is what keeps people watching, listening, and believing. And as their story unfolds across the ever-changing landscape of fame, Justin and Hailey continue to show that love and purpose can thrive. Even in the glare of the spotlight, their journey is not about perfection, but about presence, about being there for each other through the beautiful and the broken moments. The way Justin speaks of Hailey with gratitude and humility reveals how much he values the calm she brings to his once turbulent world. And in Hailey's soft-spoken confidence, there's a quiet power that inspires so many who look up to her. She represents a new kind of celebrity, one that balances elegance with authenticity, strength with gentleness, faith with ambition. And when fans watch them together, it's not just admiration. It's identification. People see in them the reflection of their own hopes for love, that lasts, for peace that feels earned, for happiness that isn't performative. And that message radiates beyond their relationship, touching the broader world of celebrity culture, where authenticity has become the new currency. We see it in the way artists open up about mental health, like Shawn Mendes taking time off to heal and reminding fans that rest is productive. We see it in Selena Gomez, who has turned vulnerability into advocacy. We see it in the voices of Lizzo and Doja Cat breaking boundaries with confidence and humor, redefining what it means to be both powerful and real. And this movement toward sincerity in fame feels like a collective breath of relief for a generation that's grown tired of the polished facade. It's a renaissance of truth, a wave of humanity rising through the filters of perfection, and Justin and Hailey stand as symbols of that transformation. They show that it's possible to live a faith-filled life in the modern world, to find strength in softness, and to love without apology. Justin's evolution as an artist mirrors this emotional honesty, from the teenage prodigy who sang Baby with wide-eyed innocence to the man who now writes songs about redemption and grace. His music has always been his mirror, a reflection of his growth and his healing. And Hailey's career similarly tells a story of empowerment. She's moved gracefully through the fashion world while building a brand that celebrates real skin, real care, real confidence. Her brand road has become not just a business, but a movement towards self-love, reminding people that beauty is not about covering up, but about revealing who you are inside. And this message of authenticity resonates with countless other stars who are redefining the culture around them. We see it in Rihanna, who turned her Fenty brand into a revolution for inclusivity in makeup and fashion. We see it in Zendaya, whose red carpet choices and creative collaborations express individuality without fear. We see it in BTS, whose music about self-love has become a global anthem for acceptance and unity. Every one of these stories connects to a larger narrative about how the meaning of fame has changed. It's no longer just about being seen, it's about being understood, and the fans have evolved too. They no longer want idols who seem untouchable. They want connection, they want reality. They want stories that remind them that the people they admire are human too. That even in a world filled with cameras and chaos, there is room for authenticity and compassion. And that's why Justin and Hailey's story resonates. It's not just a romance. It's a reflection of what so many people crave today. Peace in a noisy world, stability in a shifting one, faith in an uncertain one. Their relationship reminds us that the greatest love stories aren't perfect. They're patient. They're grounded in forgiveness and fueled by purpose. And it's this kind of love that has always inspired the most timeless art. When we look back through history at figures like John Lennon and Yoko Ono, or David Bowie and Iman, or even newer couples like Harry Styles and Taylor Russell, we see the same theme: love and art feeding each other, shaping each other, evolving together. And through those parallels, we understand that fame doesn't have to break you. It can refine you. It can teach you to appreciate silence, to value stillness, to recognize that even the brightest stars need the calm of a night sky. And as Justin and Hailey continue to navigate their journey together, they carry that light not just for themselves, but for a generation, learning that love is not a performance, it's a promise, a daily act of choosing empathy over ego, faith over fear. And that is what makes their story not just beautiful, but necessary. Because in a world obsessed with image, they remind us that the heart is still the most powerful lens of all, you said. And as the story deepens, we start to see how Justin and Hailey have become more than just a couple in the public eye. They've evolved into a symbol of transformation and intentional living, showing how fame can coexist with faith, how love can survive under pressure, and how two people can hold on to each other even when the world seems determined to pull them apart. Because their journey is not about drama or spectacle, but about growth, about learning how to nurture what's sacred even when surrounded by noise. And that quiet resilience has touched countless people who see in their relationship a reflection of their own struggles to stay grounded in a fast-moving digital age. Justin often speaks about the peace he finds in simplicity. In mornings spent in prayer, in small acts of kindness, in choosing gratitude over guilt, and when Hailey shares glimpses of their life together through interviews or gentle reflections online, she reminds everyone that even the most glamorous lives are still made up of ordinary moments. Laughter at the kitchen table, quiet walks, shared playlists, whispered prayers before bed. It's those little fragments that build real love, and fans respond not to the fame, but to the familiarity, because in them they see proof that you can live in the spotlight and still be real, and that message has rippled through the world of celebrity culture, influencing how others navigate their public and private lives. Take someone like Taylor Swift, who after years of scrutiny learned to reclaim her narrative, turning pain into empowerment and turning her art into a form of self-preservation. Or someone like Zendaya, who balances international stardom with a deep sense of humility, constantly reminding her fans to stay true to themselves. Or even Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who despite his success as one of Hollywood's biggest names, continues to talk about family discipline and gratitude. These are the threads connecting modern fame, authenticity, faith, and resilience, all woven together into a global tapestry of hope and transformation. And Justin and Hailey's story fits perfectly within that tapestry because it shows that you don't have to lose yourself to be seen, that you can shine. Without burning out, that love, when rooted in faith, can become an anchor strong enough to hold you through any storm. Justin's evolution from a teenage superstar to a thoughtful artist has not been without its challenges, but each chapter of his life has shaped him into someone who leads with empathy rather than ego. His music today carries messages of peace, self-reflection, and healing, echoing the lessons he's learned along the way. While Hailey continues to shine in her own lane, balancing her modeling career, her business ventures, and her role as a voice of modern wellness. Her focus on inner beauty and authenticity has made her a relatable figure in a world obsessed with perfection. Her brand road has not just changed how people view skincare, but how they view themselves. It celebrates the beauty of imperfection, the idea that you don't need to change yourself to feel worthy. And in that philosophy, there's something deeply healing, something that aligns with the way other stars are using their platforms to encourage self-acceptance. Billie Eilish talks about body image and self-confidence, reminding fans to define beauty on their own terms. Harry Styles preaches freedom through fashion and individuality, reminding everyone that self-expression is an act of courage. BTS continues to champion messages of unity and self-love, transcending language and culture to create a community built on compassion. These movements reflect the shift happening across global celebrity culture, where vulnerability is strength, where art becomes therapy, and where connection matters more than perfection. And Justin and Hailey embody that shift, not just through what they say, but through how they live, through their quiet support for charities that uplift communities through Justin's foundation work, and advocacy for mental health awareness through Hailey's open conversations about anxiety and faith. They have shown that the real work of being a celebrity is not just in entertaining people, but in inspiring them to be better, to be kinder to themselves and others. And that message resonates across continents, because no matter where you're from, everyone understands what it means to struggle. Everyone knows what it means to want love and peace, and that shared humanity is what keeps people watching, listening, scrolling through interviews and songs, not because of the glamour, but because of the growth, because they see in Justin and Hailey's story a kind of roadmap for navigating modern life with grace. A reminder that it's okay to stumble. It's okay to take time to heal, and it's okay to redefine yourself again and again, as long as you keep choosing love over fear and light over darkness. And as they continue walking forward hand in hand, their story blends seamlessly into the larger story of the world's artists who are using their platforms not just to shine, but to illuminate others. And that light, once shared, never fades. It multiplies, spreading through music, fashion, storytelling, and kindness until the world begins to glow just a little bit brighter. And as the light continues to grow from their journey, Justin and Hailey Bieber begin to represent something more than a couple bound by love. They become a reflection of how fame can evolve into purpose, how art can mature into service, and how the modern celebrity world is no longer about distance between stars and fans, but about connection that feels real and lasting. Because when people look at them, they don't just see two famous faces. They see resilience, faith, and the beauty of building something meaningful in a fast world where moments are fleeting and trends change by the minute. Justin often says that slowing down has been his greatest lesson, that learning to listen rather than react, and to appreciate the quiet rather than chase the noise, is what has saved his peace. And that message has rippled through his work and interviews, showing fans that growth doesn't come from perfection, but from surrender. Hailey, too, has embraced that lesson. Her confidence doesn't shout at whispers in the way she carries herself, in the honesty she brings to her brand Rhode, and in her ability to talk about anxiety and faith as if she were talking to a friend across the table, and together their energy has softened the image of celebrity, showing that you can be glamorous and grounded, stylish and spiritual, ambitious, and at peace all at once. And that duality is what defines today's icons across the world. We see it in artists who blend art and activism like Beyoncé, who continues to turn her music into messages of empowerment and cultural pride, in figures like Zendaya, who uses her influence to highlight diversity and authenticity in every project she takes on, in musicians like Bad Bunny, who redefines masculinity and identity with every performance, and in fashion innovators like Rihanna, whose empire has opened doors for representation and creativity. All these voices echo the same truth, that fame is not a crown, but a calling, a chance to use visibility as a vehicle for change. And that's exactly what Justin and Hailey have been learning to do, using their platforms not just to entertain, but to uplift, supporting charitable causes, mental health awareness, and global initiatives that make real impact. And as they walk through the public eye hand in hand, their quiet faith becomes a testimony that love anchored in purpose can outlast pressure, that peace can coexist with fame, that it's possible to live in the light without being consumed. By it, their journey has become a mirror of hope for many who struggle with balance, reminding them that success doesn't have to mean sacrifice, that happiness isn't found in applause but in alignment, and this shift in energy isn't just theirs. It's part of a larger wave sweeping through celebrity culture, where stars are embracing mindfulness, empathy, and authenticity. Think of Taylor Swift, whose music has transformed from confessions of heartbreak into declarations of strength, or of BTS, whose global influence has turned messages of kindness and self-love into a movement, or of Harry Styles, whose concerts feel like celebrations of individuality and acceptance, or of Selena Gomez, whose transparency about mental health continues to inspire millions all around the world. They all stand for a new era, where being seen means being real and being famous means being responsible. And Justin and Hailey sit gracefully among them, proving that even under the world's microscope, it's possible to remain soft, kind, and true to yourself. They have learned that love isn't a performance, it's a practice. And through that understanding, they've become a living reminder that fame doesn't have to dim your spirit. It can actually refine it the same way. Fire purifies gold. And as they continue to evolve both individually and together, they teach everyone watching that evolution is the point of it all. That every season of life brings new challenges and new chances to grow, that you can rebuild as many times as it takes and still come out radiant on the other side. And this message resonates far beyond Hollywood, reaching artists in every corner of the globe, from Bollywood to K-pop, from Europe's art scene to Africa's vibrant music culture. Everywhere, creators are embracing the balance between vulnerability and vision, between ambition and authenticity. And that balance is what makes this generation of celebrities so magnetic, because they are no longer just stars, they are mirrors of the human experience. And Justin and Hailey's story fits beautifully in that constellation, showing that faith and love can still thrive under fame's fire. And maybe that's what keeps their story timeless. Not the headlines or the fashion, though those will always catch the eye, but the quiet truth underneath it. All the truth that love, when rooted in purpose, will always bloom even under the brightest light. And as the journey reaches its quiet crescendo, the story of Justin and Hailey Bieber unfolds into something far greater than a tale of love. In the spotlight, it becomes a living example of transformation, of grace, under pressure, of choosing to rise gently again and again. Even when the world watches too closely, their bond stands as a reflection of what so many dream about in a world that often feels divided, a reminder that faith, hope, and kindness still matter. That even those who have everything in the material sense must still search for peace within, and that peace once found can ripple outward like light, touching everyone who watches, listens, and believes. Justin has grown from a young artist navigating the chaos of instant fame to a man who understands the value of stillness, who knows that his voice carries power not just in melody, but in message. His songs today carry an echo of gratitude, each lyric a prayer, each performance a confession of what it means to be human. And Hailey continues to evolve alongside him in her quiet and graceful way, showing that strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers through kindness, through patience, through the decision to stay authentic. No matter how loud the noise becomes, and together they've built a life that balances devotion and drives success and simplicity. And through their example, the world sees a new model of what modern fame can look like. Not a whirlwind of perfection, but a rhythm of balance and intention. And this evolution connects them to countless other artists who have turned their journeys into something meaningful. Beyoncé continues to shine as a symbol of excellence and empowerment, using her art to uplift generations. Rihanna transforms creativity into courage, leading with compassion and confidence. Selena Gomez reminds the world that healing is an ongoing process while sharing her heart through music and mental health advocacy. Harry Styles dances through the world, with joy and fluidity showing that freedom and kindness can coexist. Billie Eilish stands unapologetically herself, teaching the next generation to embrace every version of who they are. Zendaya carries grace in everything she does, breaking barriers and redefining beauty. And in all these stories, the same current flows: the pursuit of authenticity, the courage to be real, and the commitment to use fame as a platform for light rather than illusion. Justin and Hailey's chapter adds a note of intimacy to that global chorus, showing that the greatest act of rebellion in a world built on image is to choose love again and again, to choose peace when chaos calls, and to let faith be the compass when the road grows uncertain. Their shared faith in God has been the foundation of their resilience, guiding them through every season, reminding them that purpose is stronger than pressure. And when they step away from the cameras to just be two people in love, it becomes clear that their happiness is built on the simple things: laughter, shared meals, prayer, long drives, sunsets that ask for no audience, and in those small sacred moments lies the real meaning of life. And as this story widens, it carries us beyond the Biebers into the greater constellation of global celebrity, where stars use their gifts to give back, from Dwayne Johnson, building communities of motivation, to BTS, spreading unity through art, to Priyanka Chopra, Jonas inspiring women to lead with grace and power. Every name becomes a verse in a larger poem about humanity, about how far the world has come. In understanding that success without soul is empty, and how beautiful it is when fame becomes a force for empathy and good. It's no longer about who shines the brightest, but about who helps others find their own light. And as Justin and Hailey continue their journey, they embody this shift, living proof that it's possible to stand in fame and still live with humility, that it's possible to be adored by millions yet remain anchored in gratitude. And their story leaves behind a soft echo that says, keep going, keep believing, keep loving, because that is what gives meaning to everything. The cameras, the concerts, the interviews, they all fade eventually. But what remains is the heart, the legacy of kindness, and the memory of moments shared. And that is what makes this story timeless, because love grounded in truth never fades. It transforms and multiplies. And as this cinematic journey comes to an end, the world doesn't close the chapter, it keeps it open. Because somewhere someone will hear a song by Justin or see an interview with Hailey and feel a spark of hope. A reminder that even in a world that moves too fast, it's still possible to find stillness, to find connection, to find purpose. And that is the quiet miracle of it all. That fame, when lived with heart, becomes more than fame. It becomes light. And that light, once shared, never truly goes out. It travels from one story to the next, from one artist to another, from one heart to millions, reminding us all that love in any form, in any place, under any spotlight, will always be the most beautiful art of all. If you love celebrity stories, Hollywood news, inspirational journeys, and behind-the-scenes moments that feel personal, hit like, comment, and subscribe to stay connected with more positive and emotional celebrity documentaries.